Hello guys, my name is Shahrukh. In this video, we will continue with the practical of Glbp. So in the last video, we have seen the authentication in Glbp, and we have also seen that whenever the ActiveFG will receive an ARP request, so how it will store the entry of my users, how it will bind the MAC address, IP address of the user with the forwarder entry in its client cache. So now we will first start with the timers in Glbp. For that, I will enable Glbp on R1 and R2, and let's say R1 is my active AVG. I will enable Glbp on first R1, Glbp1 IP address 10.0.0.10. Glbp1 priority of R1 is, let's say, 110. So R1 will be my active AVG, and I will go on R1 and I will configure Glbp on now R2. Glbp1 IP 10.0.0.10, Glbp1 priority is 105. Now R1 will be my active AVG and R2 will be my standby AVG. See, we have seen the timers in HSRP. The same logic applies over here. Let's say this is two router R1 and R2. I'm running HSRP over here. R1 is my active router and R2 is my standby router. So you know that standby router will learn the timers from the active router in HSRP. That whatever R1 will advertise the timer in its hello message, standby router will learn that timer. If I go on R1 and if I set the hello as 5 seconds and the hold down time as 15 seconds, so R1 will advertise this timer in his hello packet. So R2 will receive it. R2 will use this timer only because R2 will use the timer of the active router. Even if I go on R2 and I will set some random timer, let's say 10 is hello and hold down time is 30, then also R2 will not use this time. Why? Because R2 will use the time of the active router only, because R2 will learn this timer from the hello message of R1. Same logic applies over here. If I'm having multiple routers, let's say R1 is my active AVG, R2 is my standby AVG, R3 and R4 is in the listen state for AVG. So whatever R1 will advertise its timer in its hello message, the standby AVG and the listen and the other routers which in the listen state for AVG will use that timer only. If R1 will advertise the timer as 5 seconds for hello and 15 seconds for hold on time, so all the remaining routers will use this timer only. And by default, what is the timer for Glbp? The timer is hello is 3 seconds and hold down time is 10 seconds. This is the by default time. If you want, you can change it also. In HSRP, sorry, not in HSRP, in Glbp, you can advertise the timer in millisecond also. Why? Because if you will see the packet of Glbp, the hello packet, the timers are advertised in millisecond. So 3 seconds are advertised as 3000 seconds and 10 seconds are advertised as 10,000 seconds. We will see the capture we will see this time when we will open the packet capture. But in Glbp, the timers are advertised in milliseconds. So you can set the timers in millisecond also. And whatever active AVG will send the timers in hello message, all the remaining router will learn that timer. See. To prove this, I have enabled Glbp on R1 and R2. See, R1 is my active AVG and R2 is my standby AVG. Let's say I will enable Glbp on R3 also. So one router will be my active, one router will be my standby, and one router will be in the listen state. So R3 will be in the listen state for Glbp1 because R2 is having high priority, which is 105 as compared to R3. So Glbp. See, by default, what are the timers? The timers are 3 seconds and 10 seconds. In 3 seconds is hello time and 10 seconds is the hold down time. Okay, so now total I'm having 3 group members over here in my group and there are total 3 forwarders. Okay, now let's say I want to change this time. See, currently if I go on R2 and if I do show GLBP, so all are using the same timer, that is 3 seconds and 10 seconds. If I go on R3, so they are all using the same timer, that is 3 seconds and 10 seconds. Now let's say if I go on R1 and if I change the timer, because R1 is my active AVG, so I will change the timer on R1. GLBP1, how to change the timer command is GLBP1 timers. What is the hold down time? Let's say I need to keep the hold down time as 5 seconds. Sorry, what is the hello time? Hello time, let's say I need to keep it as 5 seconds. Okay, so the hello time is 5 seconds. And what is the hold down time? The hold down time is, let's say, 15 seconds. So this is the command to set the timers. The first time is the hello time. The second time is the hold down time. See, right now I have changed this timer on R1, which is my active AVG. If I do show GLVP, so what is the timers my active AVG is using? It is 5 seconds and 15 seconds. If I go on R2 and if I do show GLBP, so my standby router is also using the same timers. And if I go on R3, so my router which is in the listen state is also using the same timer of 5 seconds, 15 seconds. Why? Because they are learning the time from the active AVG. Even if I go on R2, let's say, and if I configure the time as GLBP1 timers, let's say hello is 10 and hold down time is 30. Still R2 will be using the timer for active AVG only. See, if I do show GLBP, what is my configured timer? I have configured this timer, but what exactly the timer my standby AVG, that is R2, is using? It is using the timer which is advertised by active AVG, that is 5 seconds and 15 seconds. If I go on R3, so it is also using the same time, that is 5 seconds and 15 seconds. So this is what I need to show you. This is the basic thing which we have seen in HSRP. The same logic applies over here. I'm not set now any of the timer on GL on R2. So there is no configured timer. So by default, it will use a time of the active AVG only. That is 5 seconds and 15 seconds. It is not by default. It will use the time of active AVG only. But earlier over here, when I set the timer, so in my output, it is showing that the timers is configured as this and that. But what I'm using, where it is, see, when I configure the timer, so in the output it is showing that the configured timer is this and that, but what actually I'm using, it is 5 seconds and 15 seconds. So if you want, you can change the timer also. Now if I'm removing this command, now by default it is using the default time, which is 3 seconds and 10 seconds. If I want, I can set the timer in millisecond also, because in GLBP the timer is advertised in millisecond. How to set in millisecond? GLBP1 timers in millisecond. I need to specify, let's say, what the millisecond I can specify. 200 millisecond is my hello time, and what is the hold down time? The hold down time also is in the millisecond. The hold on time is, let's say, 600 millisecond. Now if I do show GLBP, so my hello time is 200 millisecond, and what is my hold on time? It is 600 millisecond. If I go on R2 now do show GLBP, so now they are all are using the same timer of active AVG only, that is 200 millisecond and 600 millisecond. If I go on R3 also, so it is also using the same timers which is advertised by active AVG. So this I need to show you. It's just a simple thing. I'm removing this timer. So now by default it will take the timer of default time, that is 3 seconds and 10 seconds. So now all of the router will use that timer only, that is 3 seconds and 10 seconds. See, 3 seconds and 10 seconds. So this is the hello and hold down time concept in GLBP. Now see, I need to show you one thing. Let's say this is R1. This is R1, this is R2, this is R3, and this is R4. They are all connected with this ISP. R1 is my active AVG, R2 is my standby AVG, and all the remaining router will be in the listen state for AVG. R1 is my first forwarder, R2 is my second forwarder, R3 is my third forwarder, and R4 is my fourth forwarder. Now let's say over here I am having this user. Now let's say this user is having the MAC address of the fourth forwarder ending with 04. So this user traffic will be going via R4. Okay. Now in the second or third lecture, I've shown you that, let's say, if this link goes down, so what will happen? R1, R2, and R3 won't receive the hello message from R4. So what they will think that now currently the fourth forwarder is down. So out of these remaining routers, one router will take the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. And who will take the responsibility? The responsibility will be taken by that router which is having highest IP address. So let's say among these R3 is having the highest IP address which is 10.0.0.3. So R3 will now take the responsibility of fourth forwarder. So R3 is now currently the third forwarder as well as the fourth forwarder. So this user traffic, that is the user which is having the MAC address of the fourth forwarder, now currently his traffic will be going via R3. Why? Because R3 has taken the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. So currently now this user traffic will go via R3. Because if R3 won't take the responsibility, that means this user cannot communicate with the internet. So if this user need to communicate with the internet, so some of the routers need to take the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. Why? Because the fourth forwarder is currently down. Because R1, R2, and R3 are no longer receiving the hello messages from R4. So they will think now the fourth forwarder, that is R4, is down. Now see, mm, I'm having over here a couple of more users. These are all are my users. Now let's say this is user A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. These all are my user. Now if user A needs to communicate with internet, see currently R4 is down and R3 has taken the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. So R3 is now the forwarder for forwarder number 3 as well as for the forwarder number 4 because this link is down. Now let's say if this user A needs to communicate to internet, so it will generate an app that what is the MAC address of the default gateway. So the active AVG, let's say, has given him the MAC address of the first forwarder, it is 01. If user B will generate an app request, so it will get the MAC address of the second forwarder, that is the MAC address of ending with 02, because by default the load balance is round robin. If user 3 will generate the MAC address, what is the MAC address for the default gateway? So it will get the MAC address ending with 03. Now, if user 4 will generate the MAC address of if user 4 will generate the app request to know the MAC address of the default gateway. So what MAC address this user D will get? Now see, the active AVG knows that R4 is down. Okay, the active AVG knows that R3 has taken the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. So it is not like that active AVG won't give the MAC address of the fourth forwarder, because see, for forwarder number 4 also R3 has taken the responsibility, that R3 is saying that I am taking the responsibility of forwarder number 4. Now if any of the users is having the MAC address of forwarder number 4, so I will take his traffic and I will send it to the ISP. So my active AVG will give the MAC address of forwarder 4 also. My active AVG will give the MAC address of the forwarder 4 also. And then if user E will generate, so it will get the MAC address 01, user F will get MAC address 02, user G will get MAC address 03, and user H will get the MAC address 04, because my active AVG will give the MAC address of user 4, or not user 4, or forwarder 4 also. Because my active AVG knows that forwarder 4 is down, but still he will give the MAC address of forwarder 4. But see, the active AVG will not give the MAC address for forwarder for lifetime. The active AVG will give the MAC address for forwarder for only till the redirect timer expires. Only till the redirect timer expires. And what is the by default redirect time? It is 600 seconds. That means is equal to 10 minutes. So my active AVG will give the MAC address for forwarder number 4 only for 10 minutes, because active AVG will think that maybe in this 10 minutes the forwarder number 4 will come back again, will be online. So active AVG will wait only for 10 minutes for forwarder number 4 to come back online, because if forwarder number 4 will come back online, so forwarder number 4 will start sending its messages. So active AVG will know that forwarder number 4 is currently online, and then forwarder number 4 will also take back his role again from R3. So active AVG will wait for only for 10 minutes so that forwarder number 4 should be online. Because let's say if there is no redirect timer, and let's say if active AVG will wait for lifetime, so what will happen? Let's say I'm having total 400 users. I'm having total 400 users. So 100 user will be getting the MAC address of the first forwarder, 100 user will be getting the MAC address of the second forwarder, 100 user will be getting MAC address of the third forwarder, and 100 user will be getting MAC address of the fourth forwarder. So what will happen? 100 user traffic will be going via R1, 100 user traffic will be going via R2, and 200 user traffic will be going via R3. Why? Because R3 is now currently the third forwarder as well as the fourth forwarder, and my active AVG is giving the MAC address of the fourth forwarder also. So what will happen? The load on this router will be increased, because let's say this link is of 2 MB, but what is happening? This link is carrying the traffic of 200 users. Why? Because my active AVG is giving the MAC address of 404, the fourth forwarder also. So if my active AVG will give the MAC address, if there is no redirect timer, that means my active AVG will give the MAC address of the fourth forwarder for lifetime. And if my active AVG will give the MAC address of the fourth forwarder for a lifetime, so what will happen? The load on this router will be increased, because now this router is handling the traffic twice, because it is handling the traffic of forwarder number 3 as well as the traffic for forwarder number 4. So that's why my active AVG will not provide the MAC address. That's why the active AVG will not provide the MAC address of the forwarder number 4 for lifetime. It will only give the MAC address only for 10 minutes, because my active AVG will wait only for 10 minutes. He is thinking that maybe in this 10 minute forwarder number 4 should be online, and if this forwarder number 4 is not online, that means this timer will be expired, that is redirect timer. So after the redirect timer expires, my active AVG will no longer provide the MAC address of the fourth forwarder. So after that, let's say if some user will generate an ARP request, so it will get the MAC address of first forwarder, it is 01, then the second forwarder 02, then the third forwarder 03. Then if any user will generate, so it will get the MAC address 01, 02, 03, then 01, 02, 03. Why? Because active AVG will no longer provide the MAC address of the fourth forwarder after the redirect timer expire. So this is use of the redirect timer over here. Okay, so now you come to know what is the use of redirect timer. Just wipe this out. Now, see, R3 has taken the responsibility of forwarder number 4. That means R3 will forward the traffic for forwarder number 4. But question is, how long R3 will forward, traffic for forwarder number 4? Because R3 will not forward the traffic for forwarder number 4 lifetime, because if R3 starts forwarding the traffic of forwarder number 4 for lifetime, so what will happen? The load on this link will be increased. Why? Because R3 is sending the traffic of forwarder number 3 also, because the user which is having the MAC address of forwarder number 3, he will send the traffic to R3 and R3 will send this traffic to ISP. And the user which is having the MAC address of forwarder number 4, so they will also send the traffic to R3 and R3 will send the traffic to ISP. So the load on this link will be increased because R3 is sending traffic of forwarder number 3 as well as for the forwarder number 4. So R3 won't forward the traffic for lifetime. So the question is, how long R3 will forward the traffic for forwarder number 4? So R3 will forward the traffic for forwarder number 4 till the forwarder timeout expire. Forwarder timeout expire. And what is the forwarder timer? It is 14,400 seconds, which is equal to 4 hours. So only for 4 hours by default, R3 will forward the traffic for forwarder number 4. Once these 4 hours expires, then R3 will not take the responsibility of forwarder number 4. So R3 will not forward the traffic for forwarder number 4. So R3 will forward the traffic only for 4 hours because by default the forwarder timer is 4 hours. So R3 will forward the traffic only for 4 hours. Just wait a second. Okay, so I was saying that R3 will not forward the traffic for forwarder number 4 lifetime. R3 will only forward the traffic for forwarder number 4 till the forwarder timeout expires. And what is the forwarder timeout? By default it is 4 hours. So only for 4 hours, R3 will forward the traffic for forwarder number 4. Now, why it is 4 hours only? See, because these users will be having the MAC address of a default gateway that is 10.10 in its ARP table. And what is the timer and what is the timeout for the ARP table? It is 4 hours. So once this 4 hours expires, this user will generate again an ARP request for its default gateway that is 10.10. And when this user will generate an ARP request, then the active AVG will not give the MAC address of the fourth forwarder. Why? Because already that redirect timer will be expired in 10 minutes. So this user will be getting some different kind of MAC address, either of MAC address first, either of forwarder number 2, or either the forwarder number 3. So if this user will get the MAC address of forwarder number 1, so his traffic will be going via R1. If he get R2, if he get MAC address of forwarder number 2, so his traffic will be going via R2. And if he get the MAC address of forwarder number 3, so his traffic will be going via R3. So that's why the default time is 4 hours. Why? Because this user will be having the MAC address in the ARP table for 4 hours. And after 4 hours, that entry will be removed from his ARP table, and this user will also again generate an ARP request. And if he again generate an ARP request, so MAC2AVG will give some other forwarder MAC address. Why? Because already my redirect time will be expired in 10 minutes. So Active-AVG will now no longer be providing the MAC address of forwarder number 4. That's why the default timer is 4 hours. Now see, we will see this in practical. Let's say I have enabled GLBP on R1, R2 and R3. I will go on R4 and I will GLBP, or I will enable GLBP on R4 also. GLBP1 IP 10.0.0.10. See, if I to show GLBP, so what is the redirect timer? By default it is 600 seconds, and what is the forwarder timeout? By default it is 14,400 seconds. So MAC2AVG is sending this timer also in its hello messages. So all the remaining routers will be learning this timer. If I go on R2 and if I do show GLBP, so if you will see what is the redirect timer, by default it is 600 seconds, and what is the forwarder timer? By default it is 14,400 seconds. Now see, if I do show GLBP, so total there are 4 group members in my GLBP, that is R1, R2, R3 and R4. R1 is my first forwarder, R2 is my second forwarder, R3 is my third forwarder, and R4 is my fourth forwarder. Let's say I'm not enabling GLBP on R5. So what will happen now? If this link goes down, then R1, R2 and R3 won't receive the hello messages from R4. So what they will think, R4 is down. Now someone has to take the responsibility of forwarder number. So who will take? The router which is having highest IP address, and who is having highest IP address? It is R3, because R3 IP address is 10.3. So R3 will now take the responsibility of forwarder number 3. For that, what I will do, see, I will go on PC1 and I will ping to 8.8.8. This PC has got the MAC address ending with 01. Okay. I will go on PC2 and I will ping to 8.8.8. So it will get the MAC address ending with 02. PC3 will be getting MAC address ending with 03. And PC4 will be getting MAC address ending with 04. So if I see from PC4, his traffic will be going via R4. See, his traffic is going via R4. Why? Because R4 is currently now my fourth forwarder. Now see what will happen. First of all, I will change this redirect timer and this timeout timer. Otherwise, I need to wait for 4 hours for the forwarder timeout to expire and 10 minutes for the redirect timer to expire. So I will change this timer. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0 Glbp1. How to change the timer? Timers. After that, you need to specify the keyword as redirect. What is the minimum time I can set? Let's say I'm setting the timer for 2 minutes. I can set any of the time, but I'm setting the timer for 2 minutes. 2 minutes, the timer is in seconds, so I need to specify 120 seconds. After that, there will be an option to specify the forwarder timeout. What is a forwarder timer? I can set it is by default, not by default. I can set a minimum as 720 seconds. 720 seconds will be equal to 12 minutes. So I will set the forwarder timeout as 720 seconds. So see now what will happen. Now what I will do, will explain you now what is my goal currently. See. Now my redirect timer is 2 minutes and my forwarder timer is 12 minutes. Now PC1 is having the MAC address ending with 01, PC2 is 02, PC3 is 03, PC4 is 04. Now what I will do, I will shut down this link. So what will happen, out of R1, R2 and R3, one router will take the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. So who will take the responsibility? We know that is R3 will take the responsibility. And why it is taking the responsibility? Because by default, permission is enabled for AVF and with a delay of 30 seconds. After 30 seconds, R3 will become the R3 will take the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. Now, once R3 has taken the responsibility of the fourth forwarder, so what I will do, I will flush the ARP entry from R1, R2, and R3, and I will again generate an ARP entry. So that you will see PC1 will be getting MAC address 01, PC2 will be getting 02, PC3 will be getting 03, PC4 will be getting 04. But once this timer expires, that is 2 minutes. So what will happen once my redirect timer expires, then if I again generate an ARP request, let's say if I flush the ARP entry from this PC, all this PC, and if I again generate an ARP request, so you will see now PC4 won't be getting the MAC address of the fourth forwarder. Why? Because now activity will stop giving the MAC address of the fourth forwarder because my redirect timer expires. And you will see this PC4 traffic, let's say this PC4 is having the MAC address ending with 04, let's say, of the fourth forwarder. So this traffic was going via R3 because R3 has taken the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. But once this 12 minute expires, what will happen? R3 will now no longer be taking the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. So if you will see after 12 minutes expire, that is after my forwarder timeout expires, what will happen? This PC4 will not be able to communicate with the internet because R3 will not take the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. In fact, the information of the fourth forwarder will be removed from the Glbp AVF because now there will be no longer the fourth forwarder. So that entry will be deleted once this forwarder timer expires. So we will see this in action. So I have set the timers. So it is giving me a warning also that the default ARP cache timeout is 4 hours, but you are setting the timeout as 720 seconds. So let it be, it is just giving a warning. It is not giving me error. So if I will see what is my redirect timer, it is 120 seconds. What is the forwarder timer? It is 720 seconds. If I go on R2, so he has also learned this timer. redirect timer is 120 second and forwarder timer is 720 second. Total I am having 4 forwarders, R1, R2, R3 and R4. See, by default redirection is enabled. That means if any of the forwarder goes down, so this active AVG router will give the MAC address of that forwarder for this much time, that is for maximum 120 seconds. And because by default the redirection is enabled, so active AVG will give the MAC address of that forwarder for only for 120 seconds. And what is this time to live? It is my forwarder timeout timer. Now see, I will go on R4 and I will shut down this interface. Interface fast Ethernet 0/0. So what will happen? R4 will no longer sending the messages. So what will happen? If R4 won't longer sending the message, R3 will take the responsibility of the fourth forwarder. Now see, this link is down currently. So who will take the responsibility of the fourth forwarder? It is the responsibility now of R3, because R3 will be having the highest IP address. See, currently I am not receiving the messages from the forwarder number 4. Currently I am not receiving any of the messages for forwarder number 4. So this timer is not renewing again, because earlier I was receiving the messages of forwarder number 4. So this timer is renewing continuously. But currently I'm not receiving the messages from forwarder number 4. See, now who is the forwarder of forwarder number 4? It is active, that is local myself. But I guess before that I need to first clear the cache table, because currently it is almost 1 minute remaining. So what I will do, see, I will again no shut this interface so that R4 will be my forwarder, and in the meanwhile I will clear the ARP entry from this all the PC. But no shut, so that they will again generate an ARP request. Shut, no shut, shut, no shut, shut, no shut. Okay. So now there will be no ARP entry for 10.10, and I guess R4 is back again, so he has taken the responsibility of the fourth forwarder again. Okay. Now I will shut down this link, and what I will do, I will again generate an ARP from PC1, PC2, PC3. 8.8.8, ping 8.8.8, ping 8.8.8, ping 8.8.8. See, PC1 has get the MAC address of the first forwarder, PC2 has get the MAC address of the second forwarder, PC3 has got the MAC address of the third forwarder, and PC4 has got the MAC address of the fourth forwarder. Now I will see how much time is remaining. Okay, the redirection time is now currently 78 seconds is remaining. So after the 78 second expires, what will happen? R1 will, that is my active AVG, will no longer be giving the MAC address of the fourth forwarder. See, currently it was giving, that's why my PC4 has got the MAC address of fourth forwarder. But once my redirect timer expires, so R1 will no longer be giving the MAC address of the fourth forwarder. Just wait. It is now 47 seconds. In the meanwhile, I will clear this cache entry so that I will again generate an ARP request. I will not clear the entry from PC number 4, because I need to see that PC number 4 can communicate with the internet or not, because currently he is having the MAC address of the fourth forwarder. Shut, no shut. So I have cleared the cache entry from, clear the ARP and ARP table from PC1, PC2 and PC3. Now PC4 is having MAC address of the fourth forwarder, so he is able to communicate with the internet. If I trace it, so it is going via R3 this time. Why? Because R4 is down and R3 has taken the responsibility of R4. How much time is remaining? Show GLBP. See, now the redirection is disabled for forwarder number 4. Why? Because now that redirection timer has expired. So it is disabled, means if any of the user will generate an APP request, so MAC2AVG will not give the MAC address of forwarder number 4. Why? Because this timer has expired. Now see, if I go on PC1, if I generate an APP request from PC1, so he is getting the MAC address of forwarder number 1. Now let's say if I generate again the APP request from PC1, so he will get the MAC address of forwarder number 2. See, if I generate again the APP request, so it will get the MAC address of forwarder number 3. So I need to ping. So he got the MAC address of forwarder number 3. But now if I again generate an APP request, so this time this PC1 will no longer be getting the MAC address of the forwarder number 4. Why? Because now ActiveAG will no longer be providing the MAC address of forwarder number 4. So this PC again will get the MAC address of forwarder number 1. See, to show up, this PC now got the MAC address of forwarder number 1. Why? Because my redirection timer has expired for forwarder number 4. So MAC2AVG will no longer be providing the MAC address of forwarder numbers 4. So if any of the user will generate an APP request, so they will be getting the MAC address of forwarder number 1, then forwarder number 2, and then forwarder number 3. So this is the use of redirect time. You see, PC4 is able to communicate with the internet. Why? Because my forwarder timeout was 12 minutes. And let's see how much time is remaining now. See, R3 has taken the responsibility of forwarder number 4. So if I do show GLBP, so see what is the time to live it is remaining. It is now currently 470 seconds. Now it is 461. 457. So this timer is decreasing. Once this timer reaches to 0, then this entry, that is entry for forwarder number 4, will be removed from the output of GLBP on all the routers, and R3 will now no longer be providing the traffic for forwarder number 3. So now it is 456 seconds. You might be thinking that my timer was, I've set 720 seconds, so why it is 709? Because because see, R4 is sending the hello messages, so R1, R2 and R3 was receiving the hello messages, but once the hold down timer expires, then only R3 will detect, then only R1, R2 and R3 will detect that this forwarder number 4 is no longer available. So that's why you are seeing this timer, because all the timers are starting at the same time. See, I will give you an example so that it will be clear. See, this is my, let's say, hold down time is 10 seconds. My redirect timer was 2 minutes. My forwarder timeout was 12 minutes. So what is happening? When this device is receiving the message, hello message, so this timer is renewing, this timer is renewing, this timer is renewing. When again this router will receive the hello message, so this timer will be renewed again, this timer will be renewed again, this timer will be renewed again. Then again this router will receive the hello message, so this timer, all the 3 timers will be renewed at the same time. But now currently this device was not receiving the messages from R4. That is, if I take the example of R3, let's say this router is R3, so this R3 was not receiving the messages from the R4. So what will happen once this timer expires? That means your redirect timer has also been expired from, let's say it was 120 second to 10 second is equal to around 110 or 19 second, and my forwarder timeout was 112 minute, that is 720 second, and if I subtract my hold down timer, so it is around 710 to 79 second, because once some millisecond it is taking to converge it. So that's why you are seeing the timer as 709, because all the timers are started at the same time only. That's why you are seeing not exactly 720 second, because after 10-11 second my router has identified that R4 is no longer available. so that all my timers was not renewing again and again. Now, how much time is remaining? I guess it is around 5 minutes. 293 seconds. Show GLBP. We need to wait for 5 minutes. I will just pause this video for 2-3 minutes. I will resume this video once this timer has came across 60 seconds. Okay. Okay. So now you can see the timer is around 65 seconds. Again, to show GLP, currently it is now 44 seconds. Let's just wait. You will see after this timer expires, my PC4 will no longer be able to communicate with the internet, and this entry of forwarder number 4 will be removed from all of the routers. Now it is 23 seconds. See what I will do. I will start a ping from here. Repeat. I will set the maximum. Currently, this router is able to communicate. Okay, finally, this timer has expired. So now, if I go on PC4, and if you will see now, PC4 is not able to communicate with the internet. Why? Because now R3 no longer has taken the responsibility of forwarder number 4. So the user which is having the MAC address of forwarder number 4 now is not able to communicate with the internet. And if you will see in show GLBP on all of the routers, the entry of forwarder number 4 will be removed. Now currently we are total having 3 forwarder, that is R1, R2 and R3. R1, R2 and R3. If you will see, it is R3 show GLBP, R1, R2 and R3. So total now we are having only 3 forwarders because the entry of forwarder number 4 is removed from all of the routers. Why? Because my timer has expired, but is my forwarder timeout has expired. By default, it was 4 hours. We don't need to change that time. That's why the router has given me a warning that by default your R cache timeout is of 4 hours. So that's why I have kept the forwarder timeout also of 4 hours. But you are changing the timer, so my router has given me a warning that if you are changing a timer, so maybe you will not able to communicate with the internet because that entry will be removed after 12 minutes only. And this PC4 will be having the MAC address for 4 hours in its ARP cache. Now this PC4 will not able to communicate with the internet. See. And if my this router 4 will come back again, so what will happen? No shut. The forwarder number 4 is now again live. So R4 will again be my forwarder number 4. So you will see now my PC4 will able to communicate with the internet again, and you will see the entry of forward number 4 again in all the routers. See, if I do now show GLBP on R1, now you are seeing the entry for forwarder number 4. And who is it is R4. If I do show GLBP on R2 also, on all of the router, you will see the entry of forwarder number 4. And if you see this time, PC4 is now able to communicate with the internet. And if I trace, so this place is going via now R4 because R4 is now back again. So this is what I need to show you the timers in GLBP. So we are having 4 timers, that is hello time, hold down time, redirect time and forwarder timeout time. So now you came to know what are the difference between redirect time. You already know what is hello and hold down time means, but now you got the difference between what is the redirect time and what is the difference between hold down, not hold down time or forwarder timeout time. Okay, so that's it for now. I will see you in the next video. Next video will see the tracking in GLBP. Okay guys, see you then. Thank you.